All right, so first of all, I want to thank you all for listening. I know I'm not a good YouTuber, but thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting in the comment box anyway. All right, so a couple of days ago, we talked about jawline niggas, and I kind of gave my definition of that. C Boogie and I had a conversation, and we came up with that term. However, today I'm coining my own phrase, and this one is called jawline bitches. So, what is a jawline bitch? Well, since I made up the term, I had to kind of find the definition of one, and one kind of jumped out to me online when I came across this young lady. Let's see, Noelle Lean, something like that. I don't know. This is my first video of hers I've seen. Probably won't be my last. The name of this video, I'll probably put a link in the description box if I remember. It's kind of late. But stereotypes about black women were leaving in 2008. So, this is an example of a jawline bitch, and I'm going to explain what that is. So, with no further ado, just listen to like her clips or her view on black women stereotypes.
Back to you guys with another video, and I thought, in the New Year's Eve spirit, that we would talk about stereotypes about black women that we're gonna leave in 2018. So I wrote down a few stereotypes that, we just keep on getting. I thought, why not, end all of the stereotypes, all of the lies and confusion about black women in 2018. So let's get to it. One stereotype about black women is that we wear weave because we hate our hair or because we're trying to be white. We wear weaves for different reasons. Wigs and weaves were created for people with cancer, hair problems like
Yep, she just compared black women in general to cancer patients. As if it's better. As if it's better to say, collectively black women look like they got fucking cancer. That's a justification. Like, hey, don't talk about my weave. We're not doing this because of any fashion reasons or we're lazy as fuck. No, you just might be talking about somebody with cancer. So take that, asshole. Is basically what she's saying. Now, this is a jawline chick, so I'm going to explain to you after we listen to her whole snippet exactly why she is a jawline chick. All right, let's continue. All right, 1 second. I'm trying to do this all in one screen.
alopecia, etc. So their hair could be, how everybody else's hair is. That could be a reason why somebody wears weave, or we wear weave because we want to switch it up. Our hair doesn't grow to, the length that we want at that time, or maybe we don't want to damage our hair, so we wear wigs or weaves because we want to try different styles, have longer length, straight hair, curly hair. It's not because we hate our hair. Some of us use it as protect.
Okay, so as she said, maybe our hair doesn't grow as long as we want, but it's not like we hate our hair. Well, you don't like the fact that it's not growing as long as you want. And then everything else you mentioned just kind of, goes into the whole laziness factor. Like, yeah, I want this style, but I don't actually want to style it this way. Therefore, I am just going to take somebody else's hair, a less lazy person's hair, because they spent like years, maybe even decades of shampooing and conditioning and brushing and shit. And then they got a haircut and mailed it to your ass and you sewed it into your head. You did that, but that's not laziness. No, we just did it because we wanted something that we didn't actually work for. Um, Sweetie, that is the definition of laziness. Let's continue.
Styles, so our hair can grow and we don't damage it and we don't do what we would do with the weave to our own natural hair. Weave is for anybody. It can be for white people, Spanish people, etc. So it's not just for black people, and people think because black people mostly wear weave and black people are the general consumers of weave that they think black people is just associated with weave. But in
Black women are associated with weave, not necessarily black people. Black women and many black girls are associated with it. That's your thing. And, it's not like when somebody in India gets a haircut that would normally cost 50 cents, but they do it for free because they sell their hair to the barber and then it somehow makes its way to a head in America. They're not picturing it going to another Indian woman's head. No, this is your shit. Why would a Latin woman buy Brazilian Remy? This is your shit. You corner the market. Every now and again, a white chick would probably buy like an Indian woman's hair and dye it blonde. I don't think so. It may happen from time to time, and a Asian woman who's an actual cancer patient would wear a wig, but the lion's share of it is for black women. It's kind of like one of those things, kind of like how condoms are for men, but every now and again some dipshit blows them up or does something strange with it, and that person is not a man, it's a woman or something. So you can say, oh yeah, not all condoms are used for men to put on their penis to protect from impregnating ditzy broads like yourself. It's something that is generally understood as one of your things. All right, let's continue.
In all reality, everybody could wear weave. We just wear weave because we're hip to it. We know that we can use weave instead of damaging our own hair to get styles that we want. Another stereotype about black women is that our hair is nappy.
Okay, before we get into the nappy thing, she just said we wear it to protect our own hair from damaging. Because, it's not lazy, like do what everybody else do to actually protect it. I don't know what that is. I'm not a woman. I mean, I don't really need anything to protect my own hair. I just kind of, put my hood on in the rain, and that's pretty much it. Because I'm a normal fucking human being. But you just put somebody else's hair on top of your head and say, this is a protective style, like it's a fucking, bulletproof wig or some shit like that. All right, so now she's going to talk about nappy. Gotta hear this.
Or we must be mixed if we have a nice texture of hair. Okay, we're just going to cut that one out. We're going to dead that because not everybody who is black has nappy hair. And I honestly believe any black person who has nappy hair doesn't have to have nappy hair. It just depends on how you take care of your hair. Anybody can have
Yes, that's when someone says it's nappy, they're saying that it's untaken care of. That's what that means. Like if you have a certain texture hair and you don't take care of it, it is nappy. I'm pretty sure that there is a term for, just general uncut hair when it's, like tangled or whatnot, as it applies to other women, But yeah, when a black woman doesn't put a wig on, her hair generally becomes nappy most of the time. And that would be an accurate statement for that. I mean, technically, the hair underneath the wig is very likely to be nappy. But, I guess you're going to call it something else. Let's listen.
Nice hair. Any black person could have nice hair, male or female. And I feel like that stereotype is used because people just be walking around with their hair messed up and they're not taking care of it. So that's why people tend to think people have nappy hair. But
oh my God. So the stereotype exists because there are people who are exhibiting the behavior that the stereotype is representing. It's kind of like a black man saying, or no, let's not even get into that. It's kind of like an Asian man saying, well, yeah, the stereotype exists because, there's a lot of people in our community that's good at math. And they study real hard and get high grades in mathematics and science. But it's just a stereotype. That's what makes a stereotype. What the fuck? That's like a cop eating a donut saying, oh, the stereotype exists because a lot of us like to eat donuts. That's what it is. Oh God, jawline bitches. All right, let's continue.
just because our hair looks a certain way doesn't mean it's nappy. There's different types of textures of curls. Just because it's not as tight as, somebody who has 3A, 3B hair doesn't mean that somebody who has 4C hair is nappy hair because they don't have a looser curl. Like, it's just different textures of hair. It doesn't mean it's nappy. A lot of people don't understand, different types of hair types. So that's why they associate our hair with nappy hair. But if they would try to look into our different textures of hair, they would know it doesn't mean it's nappy. It's just
The different textures of hair. The one texture that is nappy. Nappy is the word. It's kind of like the vernacular. It's the label that's given to a certain texture of hair, especially when it's unkept. You have a nappy texture hair. That's what the word means. Oh God. All right, let's continue.
a different type of curl pattern. Just because y'all hair can't curl doesn't mean ours is nappy. That stereotype about you must be mixed. A lot of people who are mixed have quote unquote nappy hair. So it doesn't matter whether you're mixed or you're full black, that your hair will be a nappy texture. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying. Because what you're saying is damn near retarded. The stereotype that you might be mixed. So, according to her, there's a stereotype on black people that they might be mixed. Now, let's just forget for a second that might doesn't. No. Let's stick with that, okay? How can a person might be a stereotype? Just the fact that you say that they might be means that you're not generalizing. Like if I were to see a Jewish person and say you might be rich, that's not really a stereotype because they might be. It would be a stereotype if I just assumed that they were based on their Judaism, And yeah, she's saying that if you black, you might be mixed. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess, you could pretty much say that about any body or anything. If I see an Oriental person, I'll say you might be Chinese. That's a pretty accurate statement. You might be Vietnamese, you might be Hmong, you might be a lot of things. If I see an Arabic person, I'll say, hey, you might be Muslim. That's not a stereotype. You might be, I can even say, it doesn't even have to be like a majority thing or a common thing in that race, religion, or creed. If I were to see like an East Indian person, I'd say, something, you might be a Scientologist. Well, he might. Now, there are very few Indian Scientologists, but he might be one of them. So what, and I don't think she actually knows what a stereotype is. Continue.
It does not depend on whether you have a white in you or don't have white in you, because I've seen a lot of mixed people who have hair just like me. So it doesn't matter whether you're mixed or fully black. It's just depending on that person's hair. Like, that just breaks a barrier in between people that is not needed. Another stereotype is if you speak proper, then you're acting white. I don't like that stereotype because a lot of times how I speak, people think.
Okay, so she definitely doesn't know a stereotype, what a stereotype is, because she's attaching stereotype to the behavior. Like the stereotype that she's describing would probably be that, if you're black then you speak a certain way, that's a stereotype, But to say that, if you do this, you're acting like this is really more of a stereotype on a white person, because they're saying that this pattern of speech is associated with this race. I mean, it's disassociated with one race, but it's associated with another. Like if I were to speak, I don't know, French, and somebody was to say, oh, you're acting French. Well, I'm talking in the way that these people talk. That's not really a stereotype. I mean, this pattern of speech is associated with this region in the world, but that's not really like how I or anybody else with a triple digit IQ would classify a stereotype. Yeah, so dang, this is, I'm glad, because I was looking for a definition for jawline bitches, and this one really just showed up at perfect timing. I gotta continue with this.
Think, oh my God, you're such a white girl. Oh, you speak white. It's just how I speak. I don't have an accent. I just pronounce my words differently. Everybody, I think people expect black people to speak ebonics and, don't speak proper and use a bunch of slang.
Now that is the stereotype. She kind of worded it wrong because she said the stereotype is the assumption that she is speaking white, but to say that, a black person speaks Ebonics, I guess that's a stereotype, but generally speaking, no matter how black people speak, as long as it's different than, what's considered white, it would be, you can give it a label like Ebonics, and, that would just be called black people speak. I mean, it's kind of like a southern accent. It's like, oh, you have a southern accent. You talk like a person from this particular region in the United States of America. Um, I don't know if that's a stereotype. I mean, they are a person from that region in the United States of America. So, yeah. And if they were to talk, if they weren't talking like that, then it would be, and somebody was to say, oh, you sound like a northerner, or you sound like, somebody from a different part of the country. I don't know if that's really a stereotype, but this is closer to the definition. So kudos on that. All right, continue.
Yes, I do use slang, but I don't use slang all the time. And it doesn't mean that I'm trying to change the way I speak to be white if I don't use slang words. Some people just grow up in different communities. They learn different ways of speaking. And just because I speak a certain way doesn't mean that I'm trying to be something else. It's just what I grew up doing. So I don't like that association where if you speak proper, it's you being white. And I don't know, they expect us to speak like we can't speak because they hear Kodak, and that's just how Kodak speaks. That's what he's grown up speaking. That's what he's around. That's how he was taught. It's just based on your community that you're around, your environment. This is just how I speak. That doesn't mean that I'm trying to be white. I'm just speaking how I speak, period. Another stereotype we need to leave in 2018 is that black women are angry, okay, and ghetto. I don't know where they get that stereotype from. I guess
I do not know where they get that stereotype from. Is this jawline bitch serious? Like, I mean, how does she not know? Like, does she live in a world where it's just a bunch of like token black females, and there's this bubble around where a ghetto bitch just never like penetrated the circle of her existence and just stepped into her realm, and she's seen a woman that was just acting like a fucking Tasmanian devil, and that never happened to her. Like, it seems like angry ghetto black bitches just reach like the far corners of America, to where no matter where you are, what you're doing, somehow their behavior enters your existence. It kinds of fucks up the reputation of non-ghetto black chicks, but if this is a what a non-ghetto black chick acts like, then oh, god damn. All right, let's continue.
from movies and how we're portrayed in reality TV, etc. But
And how you are portrayed in reality. She says etc. like it's nothing. Like according to women like her, it's just made in a vacuum. Like you only see it in TV. Like, only on TV do you see a ratchet black chick. It doesn't happen in real life. Every single one of them are on some Claire Huxtable shit, and and when you turn on the news, never in real life do you see a ratchet black chick. This is just a fabrication from the Jewish media or some shit like that. I think that this is an instance of art imitating reality, not the other way around, boo boo. All right.
y'all don't see what provokes a woman to get to that level of anger.
Yes, we do. Typically it's something retarded. Typically they found a hair, in their food at Applebee's, and they acted a plumb fool. Typically it's the smallest. Typically it's them fucking with somebody else. It's them, hitting a 51-year-old man or pushing a 51-year-old man in the back. It typically is shit like that. Like, oh, you don't see it. And as if there is something that leads up to it that warrants it. Like if you see them going off on hopping over the counter at McDonald's. This happened years ago, and dude beat him with a bean, or if you see them spitting on a bus driver, you really didn't see, according to her, you really didn't like see what led up to her just standing in front of a bus driver talking shit while he's doing his job, and getting spat on. Like we didn't see what action did the bus driver have taken to um, warrant that behavior. Like when she went up and paid her fare, did he try to finger her? I mean, they just whenever somebody is making an excuse for the inexcusable, they always just say, "Oh, well, you didn't see or you don't know what they've been through." And they just want you to use your imagination. Whatever you can imagine that will justify this behavior is what happened according to them. Gosh. All right. Jawline chicks. I swear. All right, let's continue.
Women go through a lot of things. People try to taunt us, try to get us out of character, try to run over us. And because we are women and we are black women, people feel that they could, do certain things to us and we're just supposed to take it. And
Yep. Yep. So she is definitely a hood chick in camouflage. We're supposed to do People are supposed to do bad things to us and we're supposed to take it. Who's out to do bad things to black chicks? Like who really? I mean, like most of the time it's you who are fucking with others, not the other way around. You they like the slightest little, because they look at it as an opportunity. They look at it as an opportunity. And because they walk around with that feeling like, oh, this is because I'm a black woman, he thinks he could get away with. Try something. Like, go to a game or something and just like sit in the wrong seat by accident, but do it on purpose. But just to see what happens. Sit in the wrong seat by accident, but on purpose, and let that seat belong to a black woman, and see don't she act a plumb fucking fool. And she'll say, "Well, you think you could just get away with this because I'm a black woman?" That is, nobody feels that they're getting away with anything because you're a black woman. You look for opportunities to fuck with people's lives as much as you possibly fucking can. So, let's continue. There's only like 3 more minutes of this. Then I'll explain to you what a jawline bitch is. All right.
that's what brings anger. Trying to not let people run over us, and I guess because we are so powerful and strong-minded that it's taken as being angry, but we just don't take certain crap. Let's say
Now, I want to further highlight that she didn't actually like speak against the stereotype. She just justified it. Because we're so strong and blah 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 blah. People just think we're angry when we are angry because of our strength. It's like you didn't even pretend to be nice. You just kind of like, it's not like, oh no no no, that's not true, that's not true. It's like, yeah, it's true, but there's a reason, and that reason is other people keep fucking with us, so therefore we act out unrationally angry and bitter towards them because we're strong.
a Hispanic woman, they're portrayed as being angry and cursing at you, blah, 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 but it's called being sexy. It's sexy to men when Spanish people yell at them, but when a black woman does it, it's just being angry and they're just doing the most. I don't know.
Well, maybe it's because, just like with the hair, and you're trying to appear to be somebody else, you see a Spanish woman doing it to somebody, and for whatever reason, I don't know, I never really just got yelled at in Spanish, even when I visit Spanish countries, that shit, actually I did, and the shit wasn't hot, the shit was just weird as fuck and annoying, and, it's like, why in the fuck are you just yelling at me in Spanish? And I don't speak Spanish. I don't do that shit. I don't just like go up to somebody who I know don't speak English and then just talk to them like in English, unless I wanted to fuck with somebody. Like if I seen like an African person and they don't speak English, I would just make up a bunch of English words or a bunch of words that sound English that don't really mean anything just to fuck with his learning process. But I'm an asshole that way. But I mean, what she's talking about is when I guess on the movies they have like these really attractive Latin women, and and it's supposed to be like, oh, this fiery personality and shit, but it's not cool in real life. Nobody really wants that, but black women see it and they're like, oh shit, he's getting turned on by this. I want to turn on guys, so I'm just going to act a bitch in English. And for some reason, they think it's the same. I think the very few guys in the world who are attracted to the shit, is probably just attracted because, you know, they're probably just turned on because, and I just thought of this on the fly, this is funny, um, because they're happy that they're not hearing the shit. Like, you know, you, you maybe that's part of the thrill. Like, ah, shit, this bitch is angry. We're gonna have makeup sex, but I get to have makeup sex with the bitch without actually listening to her bitch at me. I mean, I know she's bitching at me and she's getting all of her anger and frustration, out, and we're leading to the makeup sex, but I don't have to hear the shit. But with you, they have to hear the shit, and it's more fucked up coming from you. All right.
People have their own perception of what is acceptable. Um, when it comes to a certain race, it's okay to be, angry and yell and curse at you in Spanish is sexy, but for women, black women, it's not. That's the hypocritical part of the stereotype. They don't say too much about that, but we need to leave that.
How is that hypocritical? It's not the same thing. Some things is just better when other people do it. I mean, and that's not being a hypocrite. Um, an example of this, there was a there was a nigga that um, I seen at the grocery store late last year, and he had his purse in the crease of his elbow. Yeah, he had a purse. This is California, so I'm not saying it's gay people everywhere, but they're a lot more open. I don't know if the audience comes from a place that just lynch gay motherfuckers, but here it's acceptable, and I accept it too. There's nothing really wrong with him being him, but but the he had his purse in the crease of his elbow, and that's a very feminine thing that I like when women do it. See, when women do that shit, it's a slight turn. It's a very feminine, delicate thing that they do. But when he do it, the shit's just disgusting, and I would much rather not see it. And that doesn't make me a hypocrite. Certain things work better on certain people. I'll give you an example. When an attractive woman has her shoulders out, and you can see the bra strap, and the bra strap is like part of the outfit and shit, and it's like oh shit, that's kind of hot. But when an unattractive woman do it, it's like, God damn, you tacky bitch. Get your shit together. That's sloppy as hell. What the fuck is wrong with you? All right, let's continue.
In 2018, because there's a reason behind why a woman will be angry, and not all black women are angry. I'm not that angry. I don't get angry. I find other ways to control my anger and put my anger into certain things. But some people,
I don't get angry, but I find other ways to control my anger and put my anger into other things. Then you're actually getting angry. You're just not acting a fucking fool about it.
express their anger in different ways or their emotions in different ways, and it's just that person. It doesn't mean it's the whole population of black women is the same. Stereotype that black women are ghetto. There's a lot of depiction of black women being ghetto, as you can see in TV shows, movies, just in your everyday life. When you go on social media, there's always a video of some woman being ghetto.
And when you go to the ghetto, yes, if you go to a ghetto and it's full of people like you, then it's a valid representation of, you. You know, it's ghetto is a place, and this place is full of black women. Continue.
Ghetto, ratchet, etc. Not all black women are ghetto. It's just, again, certain people grow up in certain environments, and that's just what, you know,
If that environment is the ghetto, then that's what that means.
they're taught, not taught to do, but what they're around. So, people cling to what they see being done, and that's just what they do. Not everybody's taught the same etiquette, the same manners as others.
And if you're not, then you're ghetto. Like if you grow up in a trailer and then you are a trailer person, you that's what that is. If you have a set of behaviors associated with your environment, then that's what you are. It's like, oh no, I'm not ghetto. I just grew up in the ghetto and, learned my behavior from my surroundings, which is the ghetto.
So it's just based on their upbringing. Not everybody is the same. I wouldn't consider myself ghetto. Some things I
Were you brought up in the ghetto? Then this isn't really talking about you, is it?
do, may look different to, others. Some people might not do the same thing as, another race. Some people grow up doing different things. It just depends on different cultures and stuff. But, that doesn't mean you're ghetto because you do certain things. It's just their upbringing. So we need to leave that in the past because it makes people think that, it makes other races look down on us because they're thinking that everybody is ghetto, and not everybody is ghetto. A lot of people.
They don't think everybody is ghetto. They think the people in the ghetto that behave as such is ghetto. They did not vote a ghetto person into office twice.
People have manners. They know how to act in different situations in public versus in their house. So other people just don't know that, and that's them. That's not everybody. If you have any other stereotypes that you think we should leave in 2018, leave it in the comments below. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
Okay, so that's the end of her video. Now, as you got from this whole first 30 minutes of what just transpired, God, I did not want to make the video this long. But for those of you who stayed, as you have gotten from this first 30 minutes of the video, this is not my favorite person. So, you're probably asking yourself, what is a jawline bitch? She or why is she a jawline bitch? Because just like with a jawline nigga, who is somebody who has a certain quality that women are attracted to that's inexplicable and cannot be mimicked. She has that quality, at least towards me. In spite of everything that just transpired, I want her really, really, really bad. I can't quite put my finger on what it is. I mean, you are looking at the pictures. Tell me what you think. Leave it in the comment section. But I can't quite really put my finger on it. I can't. It's not like she's the sexiest chick in the universe or something, or she just got like F cups or anything like that. But it's just like something, I don't know, like if it's a neckline thing or or shit lips or just, I can't quite put my finger on it, but I know that I want her bad, and not just in the way that I want just like a regular attractive female, like you see a chick and you're like, oh damn, I just want to like fuck her in the elementary school dump yard with some fucking goulashes on in the rain, and she don't get to wear goulashes. Like, it's not that type of shit with this one. Like, I don't know, I get like strange domesticated fantasies where I'm eating ice cream with a fork, and she says, why are you eating the ice cream with a fork? And I say, because I'm too lazy to wash the spoons. And she's like, oh, game changer. I get like all kind of fucked up fantasies when I see her, and there's no actual reason that I want her this bad, but I do. and that is what a jawline bitch is. So, um, in fact, I don't really come across too many jawline bitches in my life. I think the last one, well, actually, I didn't come across her in my life. So I really, really, really don't come across many jawline bitches in real life to where I just see them and just, just have like, um, domesticated fantasies about it and shit, like fantasizing about buying an alpaca rug, and she's like, oh, I can't believe, game changer, that you did that. What about the animals? Like shit like that don't happen, in my day to day life. I don't really come across women that has that particular it quality, that makes me want them in that particular way. So it's funny as hell. But when that happens, and it happens to everybody, so fellas, if it happened to you, then you have come across what is called a jawline bitch. Um, yeah, yeah, that is the definition of a jawline bitch. So, um, this video has run a little long. Tell me what you think. Like and subscribe. Peace.